Welcome back, and we're here to talk about the sprint race. I know, pretty unusual. We don't normally make sprint race videos on this channel, because normally the sprints aren't too interesting, but yeah, today we're going to be making a sprint recap, because it was actually interesting. And yeah, of course we were here to witness it, we watched it as well. And yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from the start. Yeah, by the way, that means we're going to have two videos today, for when quality is done as well. Because things are actually shaping up to be pretty interesting, honestly. Things are actually looking pretty interesting. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, Manson got a good start away from pole position. And then immediately down into the second, well, technically the second real braking zone, but technically the first real braking zone. George locked up and lost 4 positions in that corner. And he went from 4th to 8th. That was just crazy. Because, a lot of people, there's criticism out there, of course, right now. Because there's criticism too. Like personally, like he didn't need to do that. He didn't even need to be out there in the first place. Because like no one was behind him. Mario was behind him, and Mario wasn't that close to him, so he didn't need to do that at all. Definitely ruined his chances. And yeah, he only made it back to P7, which was yikes. Like from P8, he just like lost it and only was able to get back to P7. But yeah, Mantis started off into the lead, and he won. And, he talked more about that, of course. Another lucky victory, in my opinion. Yeah. Um, he should not have won. It sounds repetitive because we've been saying that all season. Yeah, they can't just let him get away in points. That's literally what's happening. He's getting away in points, and he shouldn't even be. But hey, I think he only won because Ocon and David were fighting over second. David Norris, my boy, managing to get second place. And that kind of made the race interesting because normally everyone just stays in about the same position. We actually have fights, not for the win, but for second and third. Well, for second, we had a fight for fourth as well between Mario and Roger. Of course, we had George trying to come back through the field. We also had fights down in the midfield, like the mid pack and the back of the pack. So we actually have fights throughout the grid, which is not usually something we get in sprint. So yeah, it seems that this track really worked for the sprint race. Although it was quite a short sprint race in terms of laps, because this track is, although it's not much going on, it's quite long because the straights. It's quite long. Like, if a track has a lot of straights, it's usually quite long. Because the straights are just very, very long. And yeah, we can't not talk about this. Dragma getting a point. He qualified P8 yesterday, which was great anyways. Came out of nowhere, because honestly in the season, since he returned, he hasn't looked that great. But he just came up, got P8, got a point. His first point since his return. So yeah, that's good. Mon in 9. Didn't really see him at all. Didn't see him or Lego, I don't think, at all throughout the broadcast, because didn't really have the pace to do anything. Really, we didn't really see Mark either. Mark was completely in his own race. He finished 7th. Yeah, not really anything went on there for him. Well, he didn't finish 7th, sorry. He finished 6th. But yeah, Jones looking pretty good out there. Of course, oh yeah, we gotta talk about that last lap. Well, like, coming out of the last lap between Donkey Crunch. Not sure what Donkey Crunch is doing there. He just outbraked himself, locked up, hit the back of Edward. By the way, Donkey Crunch has been given, I think, yeah, he's been given 2 or 3 penalty points and a 10-second penalty. So now he dropped from, I think, like 15th to 19th. So that was pretty bad. He definitely didn't need to be doing that, but it's just a lockup, so it wasn't all his fault. But he still haven't shouldn't been risking that. But yeah, of course we're gonna have a quality recap this evening. I think quality is gonna be interesting since the sprint. You couldn't really tell what the pecking order was. Like I still think Claren is gonna be really good. They didn't really have to pace in the sprint, but I think they're gonna be really good in this qualifying session. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how they do there. David Norris maybe has the pace. Roger doesn't look so hot. He doesn't look so great. Jones maybe has something. Dragma, not sure. Uh, Surprised that BMW. I guess BMW should be pretty good here, but in the sprint, Jay didn't have the best of times. Because here it's literally just straight, so BMW should have a pretty good time. We should definitely be looking out for one of those cars to get into Q3. But yeah, anyways, this is gonna wrap up our sprint recap. And yeah, that's gonna be it. We're gonna have a quality recap later, of course.